Welcome to the Screw the System channel. I'm Joe Barnes and this is the home for all entrepreneurs, dreamers and world changers. And on this channel you will find videos for people who are fed up with conventional ways of working and living. And if you want to create the life you want, it's important that you get your mind right. And a big part of that is programming your mind and setting up both the morning and evening mindful motivation routine. So I'm going to take you through exactly what I do every single day, and this can be completed in 15 minutes. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. You can do it whether you're working from home or whether you're traveling into work. Whatever the case, you can do this. These are various actions throughout the day. So what I'm going to be covering in this video is how to set a DCA. Now DCA stands for Definite Chief Aim. I got it from Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. I'll also be covering anchoring, which is an NLP technique, which is a great way of boosting your energy. I'll also be covering visualization / meditation. I do 2 5-minute slots each day. And finally, to finish off, something called a power pose, which I'll explain later on in the video. So I'm going to take you through all of these, and I promise you this will take no more than 15 minutes to complete. If you want to do the exact routine, that's fine. If you just want to take pieces from individual pieces from the routine, well, feel free to do that as well. So stay tuned as I break down these 4 different aspects to an effective, mindful morning and evening routine. Good morning. I have just woken up, and the first thing I do upon waking up every single day is repeat my Definite Chief Aim, or DCA. Now mine goes as follows. I, Joe Barnes, will be in possession of £1,500,000 by the 18th of March 2023. In return for this money, I'll write a series of outstanding personal development books, having accumulated sales of over 1 million copies. Now, as I said, this is the very first thing I do, and by saying this, with some kind of passion, or as much passion as you can muster just after waking up, what you're doing is programming your subconscious mind. Now in the morning, first thing in the morning and last thing at night, you're in your most suggestible state. It's the best time for you to plant a message into your subconscious. So what I do with those 2 brief sentences, and bear in mind this takes all of 30 seconds to do, is put an idea in my head for the amount of money I want to achieve, the date by which I want to achieve it, and what I'm going to do in return for this money. So I program my subconscious mind immediately and first thing in the morning. Sometime before lunch, I'll head back into my room and use an anchoring technique. Now, anchoring is where you connect a certain movement or pose or touch with a state or emotion that you want to feel. Now, I did my NLP training well over 15 years ago, and at the time the trainer showed us how to apply anchors, which was just the touch of a thumb or a finger against a knuckle, and use that to trigger a feeling of confidence. He said it was ideal for when you're giving speeches or presentations, so without anyone knowing, you could just press down on your knuckle, trigger that feeling of confidence, and then obviously deliver a better presentation. Now that may seem a bit strange to you, or how can that possibly work? But the whole basis of anchoring is repetition. If you connect an emotion, if you can find this emotion inside you or a state you want to feel, and then press down on your knuckle or do whatever movement feels good or relevant to you, you can eventually connect the 2 things so that you only need to perform the movement and you will then feel the feeling. I'm going to show you the one I perform right now. So what I do is I go down on my bed like this, turn around on my knees, put my hands like so, and from here I close my eyes and start channeling this feel-good energy. And I got the idea from this, or this feeling of joy, or the feel-good energy, from reading a book called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. I read it almost 20 years ago, and she said in her book that the secret to a happy and successful life is not necessarily controlling your thinking and your thoughts. It's about being aware of your state and raising your energy. So I've had this feeling of joy many times in my life since reading that book. So I can use all of those memories while I'm holding my hands like this and while I'm closing my eyes. I can use those memories to recall that feeling. But be patient with yourself. Understand that it takes time to build this connection. Now, you may want a different feeling. You may want confidence, may want relaxation, the ability to be calm in pressure situations. Whatever's relevant for you, you can adapt this technique accordingly. Now, before my evening meal, I would just take about 5 minutes out to do some visualization. You can do this anywhere. Sometimes it's actually nice to do this outside, but if you can't, anywhere will suffice. Comfortable chair. This is my hypno chair, which I use for clients when they come to do sessions at my place, but you can use a bed, you can use a couch. I'd advise sitting up rather than lying down, because if you lie down, there is a slight possibility you might start to fall asleep, and you don't want to do that because you are programming your mind, you're playing images throughout your mind. Mental movies, you could call them. I got this technique, well, it's a very common technique, but I was introduced to it through the book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I do it before my evening meal and then before going to bed. So 2 5-minute sessions, 10 minutes in total. I will just lay back, close my eyes, get myself in a comfortable position. I'm starting to play these mental movies in my mind. Now, these mental movies, for me, are based around what my major life purpose is at the time. So, for example, right now, a big driving force for my life is selling 1 million copies of my book. So I might see the number 1 million in my mind. I might imagine that, or I might imagine another inspiring thought for me is going to an airport when we can eventually travel and fly again, and seeing a copy of one of my books on the stand somewhere. That would be a big boost for me. You have to find the things that inspire you. You have to find whatever's relevant to your life and your situation at the moment. They may be relationship or love-based goals. It may be diet or health goals. You may be seeing yourself 20 pounds thinner. Whatever it might be, just spend these 5 minutes playing these images through your mind, and what you're trying to do, as with the anchoring, is build an emotional connection. You want to think these thoughts and then feel a certain way as a result of it. Same with the DCA at the start. When we talked about repeating the 2 sentences or so that you create, you have to do it with emotion, you have to do it with feeling. Otherwise, you're not connecting with your subconscious. Okay, so it's time for bed now. I've just taken a shower and I'm ready to finish off my morning and evening mindful routine. I'm going to finish it off with something I call power pose, or you could call it a moment of triumph. So what I do here is I close my eyes, I stretch my arms up to the sky, open my fingers, and I'm imagining the culmination of my life's work. Now, to me, I can imagine myself standing under a waterfall in some tropical location, having sold 1 million copies of my book. For you, it could be anything that is appropriate to your imagination, that is meaningful to you. Just try to capture what it will feel like when all you've been working towards for either a year or maybe your whole life suddenly comes to fruition, and how that will feel. So this is slightly different. It's pretty similar to anchoring, but it's slightly different in that I'm not capturing an emotion. I'm programming my subconscious for something to aim towards. I'm looking towards that magical moment where I can lift my hands up to the sky and celebrate having achieved my life's work. So that's the last thing I do before getting into bed. When I'm in bed, I repeat my DCA one more time, and that's it for the evening. So what's the impact of performing this daily mindful morning and evening motivational routine? Am I just deluding myself in thinking that it makes any difference at all? Well, I've been doing this consistently for about 4 years, and in a more sporadic fashion for close to 20 years. So I've had a lot of experience with feeling the effectiveness of following these routines. So my conclusion is that it's not going to change your life as soon as you start doing it. Just because I repeat my DCA in the morning and before going to bed doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get to that target of 1 million sales. However, what it does do, and what it's very effective at doing, is programming your subconscious mind. And I have absolutely felt my subconscious mind respond with ideas for books. It's responded with coincidences, meeting certain people that has moved my life forwards, not just in the area of work, but relationships as well. It's also great at boosting my mood. As I said, when you're having a bad day and you feel like everything's going on top of you, that anchoring that I do can often remind me to get back into this state of joy. And so this is hugely beneficial to me, to following this routine, and it will be to you as well. So as I said earlier, set up one of your own. You can copy mine completely or just take the odd piece here and there. And let me know in the comments section if you've got any of your own routines or anything you feel you want to add from some of the techniques I've explored. As always, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. I've mentioned in my previous one, we're chasing 1,000 subscribers and we're almost there. So please help contribute to that. Stay tuned for a new video, probably coming up within the next few weeks, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching.